Hello, I'm making this video for obvious reasons. But I'm going to explain why 2016, at least in my opinion, is the worst year ever. Because that's how I remember it. That's one of my reasons. But also, if you look at 2016, most people were not having a good time. Now, yeah, you might have had a good time for you. That might have been good for you. But most of the world, including me, had a very bad 2016. But then why are there people saying that 2016 is good? Well, my theory is people don't actually like 2016. They just say they do because that's basically when the internet went into basically what it is now. It's just the only difference is that you didn't acknowledge it back then because you didn't use the internet as much back then. You know? I did. So I knew, okay? Most people did who did do that, who were chronically online. That was the beginning of being chronically online, at least publicly, anyway. So, yeah, that's what that is, you guys. And unfortunately, people really seem to like that year, despite, if you look at stuff that they did from 2016, always saying, oh yeah, it was the worst year ever, this is the worst year. Like, the whole point of 2016 that made it popular was that you shitted on it. Was that it was the thing that you could make fun of, you know? It was never the thing to be proud of. And the fact that people are still looking at it nostalgically and the people are still looking at it like it's a good year just goes to show how bad our time is. It's not near as bad as, say, like 2016 or anywhere near the 1990s if you're talking statistics. But, like, it, it goes to show that there could be a time that is worse, be like after this decade or two, because oh oh no, oh come on, let me go back. No, I don't think I will. Okay, you're not gonna go back, and even if you could, you probably wouldn't like that year anymore because you would actually be living in it. Because people are like, oh, I want to go back, until they get sent back, and then they're like, why am I here, you know? Why did you put me here? And then they want to go back to their time, you know? And we do send them back to their time, so whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's not a particularly good year. I wouldn't recommend any time travelers going over there. Not great. Good. I'm telling the truth, man. That's all I say about that. Yeah, you might go, oh, but Harambe died and the president got elected. There was nothing really bad going on there. That's all it was. No. Most people could not afford shit. And inflation was high. Inflation is still high. Too many tariffs. Fucking what's it called? War. You might go, but they have war every year. Yeah, but 2016 was like the height of that decade. Okay? That's just how it was. And how it still kind of is. I mean, yeah, there are wars that are particularly bad now, but back then it was a lot worse, you know? So just be glad for what you have today, you know? Like, I don't want to go back to that, okay? I don't want to go back to 2016. 2026 is not 2016, okay? We are not going back to this bullshit, okay? We are not going back to this bullshit, right? And then in the future, they're probably going to talk about this year like, oh, it was so good, whatever. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you look at anything in this time period, people are going to say that this year is shit. That's what they do every year. Every single fucking year, you have a bunch of people saying that this year is the worst year to ever exist. And then, years later, you get the same people saying, oh no, but I remember it is good and this and this and this and this. But that was also the year that they got their PTSD from or something like that. But they do this every fucking year. People do this every fucking year. Like, ever since the boomers have been around, that's what they've been doing. Or pre-boomers, I guess you could say, because there was also, the optimism era between the ending of World War One and the beginning of World War Two. Well, that led to the beginning of World War Two, but still. You get the idea. It just became weird shit. Alright? That's all I'm saying. I'm not going back to the 1980s. Okay? I want to be in current day. If you don't like that, obviously you're not from my current day. Because who knows how far you're watching this from the future. Anyway, or I guess the past, present, whatever the current present is. But anyway, I am out of here. And yeah, that's why 2016, at least in my opinion, is the worst year ever. Bye, and just remember, stay ugly.